Want to know what apps I absolutely cannot live without as a business owner? Tune in. Let's start with some of my top tools. Now, I feel like I have a personal assistant that works for me for free, and I absolutely love him, and that is my man, Siri. So for most of you, Siri might be a woman, and I don't know if you know, but you can change the voice. So it can be a man, it could be British. I have an Australian speaking Siri, just because I like a little Australian accent in my life sometimes. So I don't think that I could live without Siri. In my car, I have a magnetic phone holder on the dashboard, and so I'm constantly communicating with Siri. Siri, can you text my husband, let him know that we're coming home? Siri, can you call this person? Siri, can you remind me to send an email out to this patient? Siri, can you remind me to purchase these products that I need to buy? Siri, can you write a note on this? Siri, can you email this person? I mean, Siri has got 100% of my heart. And Apple, thank you so much for creating basically my personal assistant in my life. And it's so funny, even now, my daughter, Aria, always after daycare wants to go to somebody's house because she just constantly needs to be entertained. And so she'll be like, Mom, can you ask Siri to ask Grandma Debbie if I can come over? Or can you ask Siri to ask Dad what we're having for dinner? So even my kids are starting to fall in love with Siri just as much as I am. But I use him not only for like doing things on my phone or actively opening up apps for me while I'm driving or otherwise distracted, but I also will say like, Siri, what time does this store close? So that I don't have to spend time. I can multitask, do my work on my computer while Siri's looking up when Staples closes or when the nearest grocery store closes, so I know if I have time to get a snack or lunch for tomorrow. But the other big thing that I'm really using him for is for my timers. So in episode 87, we talked about the top habits of high-performing individuals, high-performing entrepreneurs. And one of them was to be focused and work for 50 to 55-minute increments. Take a 5-minute break, stretch, go to the bathroom, do something, and then come back to work. So I am constantly asking Siri to set my timer so that I always know when I have to start or finish something. Even if I have a really busy day and I don't have reminders set on my calendar, I'll usually set my timer so that I say, okay, remind me in 1 hour, and then I know, okay, something is happening. So then I'm very, very good at staying on task, on target, and on track. So Siri is 100%. I could not live without him. Now, the other really, really big tool that I use and could not live without would be my dashboard for my tasks. So I use Infusionsoft. Infusionsoft runs my entire business, whether it's the online side or in my practice. And this kind of brings me to a bit of a tangent that I used to have my clinic software be just cemented at the office. I could only access it if I was at the office. There was no sort of network link that I could log into. That was such a disaster because things were always changing between visits, as I'm sure you know. And then I'd have to spend like an hour updating my Gmail calendar to the clinic software, and it was just such a pain in the butt. So if you are running your business, even if you're an associate, it's a really good idea to try to find a way for everything to be synced online. So in Infusionsoft, I can manage the orders, I can manage the bookings, I can manage where my contacts are going. So if my patient is entering my 7-day detox, I can add a tag from an app on my phone so that they get entered into that campaign sequence. If I meet somebody while I'm out and they want to join my newsletters, I can use the Infusionsoft app on my phone to add a tag, and then they get put into that email campaign. The more you can run your business effortlessly with your phone, the more successful you will be because you can do things faster, the less energy you're going to be using in your brain to constantly remember things. So with Infusionsoft, outside of doing all those things, it also has a task widget that's on my dashboard. This is the way that I communicate with myself for upcoming things, and this is the way that I communicate with my office manager because she has her own user account. So while she's at work, if something's happening, she'll make her own tasks or she'll notify me, send me a task, I'll send it back to her. We're using it as kind of like a communication system, but it's a beautiful way to really plug up a lot of leaky holes when it comes to where your patients are at. Because if you've attended any of my webinars or heard me speak, the most important mantra we have at the office is nobody will ever leave my office without a task or a booked appointment. So when somebody cancels, I will automatically make a task because we have an online booking system. I get an email that they canceled. I will automatically copy and paste that email into a task on Infusionsoft, tagged with the person's name, and then I will put a date timer on it. So a week from now, I want to flag my office manager to call that person back. You can do that for supplement pickups. You can do that if a patient was like, you know what, I don't think I'm ready to do that program just yet, but I think in the spring I might be ready to. And I'll say, well, is it okay if I ask you in 4 months if you're ready to do the 7-day detox program yet? And so I will then make a little note on a Post-it during the visit. Afterwards, I will upload that into my task system, and then come 4 months from now, their name will pop up for me to reach out and talk to them. It is such an influential piece to running your business that you have to be keeping all of these little nitty-gritty pieces in one strategic place. Now, you do not need to use Infusionsoft to do this. Google has a task/reminders function within it if you have a Gmail calendar. And I think that you could absolutely use that. I mean, you have the reminders app on your phone, hopefully, or something to that effect, where you could be creating these tasks there. Even if you are a one-woman show, when I didn't have office management, I would create these task systems for myself. Now, even with a lot of clinic softwares, they will have some sort of a task system typically on their dashboard. But again, the more you can tap into these things when you're online, it means you could be anywhere and be communicating with your team, reminding yourself, taking a lot of the bandwidth away from your brain, putting it into tech, and constantly just be checking that every single day. Now, another really beautiful system that you could start to implement, which is free, which does have an app on your phone. So basically everything we're talking about is on your phone. This is like how amazing these tools are, because I can run my entire business off my phone. I don't need to set up my laptop and find Wi-Fi. I can do a lot of these things just with apps on my phone. Is a board that I love to use with my coaching clients called Trello. Trello allows you to create basically like a dream board for all of the tasks you want to accomplish. And the coolest part about it is it will sync with your Gmail calendar. Now, again, underlying theme here, if you don't use Gmail and use Gmail calendars because it syncs to everything, if you're using iCal, that's great. Get Gmail calendar. My entire business, all of my associates, everything is on Gmail. They will text me on a day off and say, can you block this off? Can you move this person? And I can do all of this just with my calendar. Even as an associate, I make it so that my associate clinics, where I don't... Thank you for tuning in to the Profitable Practice Podcast. Did you like this video? If so, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and definitely subscribe to the channel. If you want to listen to the rest of the podcast episode, be sure to click the link in the description below. And if you're looking for even more resources on how you can create a profitable practice, I encourage you to sign up for the freebie we also have in the description. You will automatically be put onto our newsletter list, where you will get first dibs on every new episode, as well as any new training or online series or freebies that I'm giving away throughout the year. Your commitment towards learning the business side of your practice matters. Stay positive, Keep taking those baby steps and promise me that you are going to take imperfect action every single day. Remember, your patients or clients are reaching their hand for you to help them. There is no excuse why you can't provide the help that they need. So stop getting in your way, continue to learn, take those baby steps, and as I said, take that imperfect action every single day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next episode of the Profitable Practice Podcast.